Hello everyone. So I just want to briefly touch on something many people probably have known about this already. It's been on many news channels. It's been all over social media. But the Cavan farmers protest at Little and Adley in Cavan. And it's all to do with eggs, and it's all to do with the pricing of eggs. As you know, and I will say this straight, and I think we all should acknowledge this, again we don't acknowledge it. Many people don't acknowledge this. Without farmers there's no food. Basically there's no life. Basically there's nothing to eat. Basically that's what I'm trying to say. So without the farmers, we have to treat our farmers well. We have to treat them fairly. We have to treat them fairly above all. And as you can see with Little and Aldi and these big corporations, they basically look out for themselves. They don't look after the litter guy, and the litter guy is doing the litter guy is the one doing all the work, and is making sure everybody's fed and everybody's happy, and they are left out of the picture and they're forgotten about. And again, no people say it's only 2 cents for eggs and things. It's only 2 cent increase. But again, at the end of the day, it's a tough job being a farmer. You're getting up early in the morning. You have to look after the chickens. You have to look after the cattle. It's a hard job. It's a very gruesome and tiring job. And for having somebody and having stores taking advantage, making thousands and maybe God forbid millions off the back of farmers, and not giving them a fair share of the money. And again, it's not much they're asking for. They're not looking for billions of them. But they're looking for 2 cents extra. And I think Little and Aldi first of all, they shouldn't have to go and protest and blockade really the stores. They shouldn't have to. It should have been said, from day one, right, we're going to make sure they get their extra 2 cents. Because again, let's be fair, Little and Aldi, they have billions and millions and millions. They can well afford to give out a bit to the farmers, the people who make sure the stuff on the shelves for people to buy, and making sure they have the profits, the big CEOs and things like that. And it's only fair that they get what they want. They get what they want. Like I know people say they shouldn't blockade and they shouldn't take it out on the customers too, but it's up to the customers too to realise it. Because I'm sure we wouldn't if that you and I were in their shoes, we wouldn't want to be swindled out of a few bob. At the end of the week, again, they work hard. They solve a few bob, and they make sure we put food in the shelves. They put food in the shelves for us to eat. And again, they're unrecognised by you and me. We go into the shops, we buy our eggs, we buy our produce. We never think about the person who had to go to the effort to milk to make sure the cows are producing the milk, make sure the eggs are being delivered to the stores. We'd never think of that. And I do encourage people to support them as much as they can. And I know some people are a bit frustrated about it, and I would ask them to take it them and stand in their shoes for a day. And I don't think people would like it, because again, Little and Aldi, it's not like they're a small local shop. The local man down the road has the local shop there. Would treat the farmer very fairly, because the local man understands how much the farmer has to do. The big corporations, Sun Stores, Tesco's, Aldi, Lidl, they don't understand the farmers. They're in their opinion, they're above everybody, and they basically give scrubs to the little guy here and there. But again, it's not fair, because again, only for the litter guy, Little and Aldi would be where they are today. And hopefully, maybe again, they do plan to go nationally. If they don't get what they want, and obviously I do encourage people, hopefully it doesn't come to that, hopefully they'll find a solution. But the day is Friday, today is Tuesday, and they're probably going to be there. And again, you think they would come along, the staff in Aldi or the higher ups in Dublin would say, look, we're going to give you what you want, and we're going to give you more than what you want. We're going to give you, I don't know, if they could give 50 cents, if they give €1 extra on the egg products or whatever, because again, they can well afford, Aldi and Lidl can well afford to do it. And again, I'm sure you agree, it's not like they can't afford. Again, that's not the principle here. They have a lot of money, they can do it. It's just that they're pure ignorant, and they just don't care about the little guy. The little guy shouldn't have a voice in their opinion. That's the way they see it. So I do encourage people to support the local farmers as much as humanly possible. As you know, and particularly people in rural Ireland, people in the cities may not understand it, but the rural backbone to the economy in rural Ireland is the farmers. It's the people who keep the food on the shelves, the people who produce the food. Without the farmers, we're basically nothing as a country. And again, I know the World Economic Forum is like eat bugs and things like that. We have to push back with this narrative and say, only for our farmers. Because eating bugs is not going to give you any produce, it's not going to keep you healthy, it's not going to give you vitamin D, it's not going to give you your vitamins to keep going. And again, the World Economic Forum know that. And they're trying to squid farmers, as we see in this country at the moment. The government have a burning desire against the farmers, particularly Eamon Ryan. He wants to get rid of all of them. He wants to completely just throw them to the side. He wants to just make sure there's no such thing as a farm in 50 years' time. He wants to make sure there's no cows. He wants to make sure there's nothing. And again, we have to push back on this narrative too. Because let's be fair, our ancestors for hundreds of years have been doing the same things. Nothing's ever happened. So I don't get Eamon Ryan's point, but that's Eamon Ryan for you. So let me to take, and do support them if you're going past Literality in Cavan. And do support your local farmers, and do buy local and support local. Thank you.